Peace, family. This is Dr. Kia Pruitt, and Lord have mercy, do we have some news for you today? Let's see. It is March the 3rd, 2022, and it's around 5:30ish, maybe a quarter to 6 p.m. And you guys, I have news for you, all right. Now, honestly, I've been just kind of sitting back, laying back in the cut, enjoying my grandbabies, spending time at the beach, basking in a warm Florida sun, minding my own business. And here we go. Get ready. Here come the shenanigans. So I was minding my own business today, and then I get a call that said, "Girl, you know what's about to pop off, don't you?" And I was like, "What's going on?" Because I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. I've spent the last 20 years there of my life as an adult and raised my children there. Well, according to the news, this is breaking news. Brett Hankinson, who was charged with wanton endangerment in the Breonna Taylor case, he's the Officer Brett Hankinson, was charged with wanton endangerment. Well, today he was found not guilty of a jury. I think it was made up of 8 men and 4 women, something like that. Anyway, I don't know the dynamics of the demographics. We know it was 12 people. So he was found not guilty of wanton endangerment. Now, this is important because every time something is about to happen important geopolitically and financially, globally financially, they stage a black swan event. So remember, we've been saying this: be prepared for a black swan event because the markets are crashing and it's time for the new financial system to come online. So every time the new financial system comes online, as I told you all before, they print up all the money, they rack up all the debt, they crash the system, and then they return to the gold standard. Now, here's the stage being set. We know that in the Ukraine, there is a war going on where Russia is allegedly staging a war in the Ukraine. But what we know is that Russia and Putin they are actually, along with the military from all over the world, but specifically the United States military, they're actually cleaning out the bunkers, and they're liberating the Ukrainians from the deep state that's embedded there, the Ukrainian deep state. So this is important because you know that number 46 and his son were steeped in drugs and stuff that deals with humans that are unlawful there. And that information came out a long time ago when 46 was campaigning. So I also told you all that there was a PNC bank and complex in Louisville, Kentucky that was raided by the feds and shut down because of Ukrainian money being laundered there and the Ukrainian criminal activity going on there. And also it was purchased with Ukrainian criminal money. So they shut it down. If you guys, if you don't believe this, then you need to listen to some of the citizens that are over there in the Ukraine. They will tell you that they're actually being liberated from the deep state, and they were in the streets rejoicing with the Russian military and the United States military. So you can't believe the mainstream media. So that's that. We know what's really going on in Ukraine. And also, I want to alert you, which I've said before, that there's going to be something that pop off in Taiwan because the benevolent faction of the Chinese government is going to clean out Taiwan and retake Taiwan. So they're going to liberate the Taiwanese from the deep state that's there. So if you hear there's going to be a war there or that they've started, then you know why, because they have to clean out these areas where gold was hidden. So the gold from building number 7 that was taken out during that September, 11, the emergency number you dial up when you're having trouble. You remember what happened when the towers were imploded? So the gold was taken out of there, and some people say it was stored in the Ukraine, and some say some of it might have been stored in Taiwan. So that's the deep state heavily involved there. And once those areas are cleaned out, then you know that we're really, really close to humanitarian liberation. So how is this connected to Louisville, Kentucky? I've always said Louisville is steeped in the deep state, which is why the Breonna Taylor case happened there, which is why they had Antifa and Black Lives Matter staging all of these protests, which were hardly peaceful. Honey, I was in the middle of it. It was so much unrest there. You heard gunshots, you heard things sound like bombs being exploded. I was in the West End, in the so-called black neighborhood. I've seen it. I even videotaped it. It was horrible. These people, some of them were being peaceful, but then you had agents like pastors and so-called leaders who were actually staging the rallies and leading the rallies and causing people, encouraging them to march and storm in the stores and break and destroy stuff. It was horrendous. So just be on the alert that they may unleash Antifa and Black Lives Matter again all over the nation. And if they do that, it's just to keep your focus off what's really going on. It's to keep your focus off the fact that the military all over the world is liberating humanity. It's to keep your focus off the fact that people are making major bank runs to get their money out of the banks, because whenever you have unrest and you have people understanding that you can't get your money out, they make their runs to the bank, they take their money out, and then they put it into gold and silver, which is called a safe haven. So you see the stocks going down, you see the cryptos going down, and then sometimes the plunge protection team will put money back in to boost it up so it can look like we're not having a stock market crash. But we are having a stock market crash, and people are waking up and saying, uh-oh, the financial system is in trouble, so we need to go and put our money in gold and silver where it would be safe, because silver and gold maintain their value, whereas fiat dollars that's not backed by anything doesn't maintain its value. It decreases in value, especially when they keep printing money. Then the more money you print with nothing backing it, the less value it has. And also countries are deciding to not trade with the United States USD, but to trade with silver and gold. So when that happens, people start waking up and saying, I need to start investing in silver and gold. I need to rush to the banks and get my money out. So to keep your eyes off of that, and to keep you from ascending to your higher state of consciousness, to keep you from loving each other, from emitting positivity and from emitting joy, they're going to try to put in the atmosphere fear and anxiety and pain and trouble, and they're gonna stage a race war. If you know, that's they always do that, especially the liberals. The liberals have been overtaken by the CCP, as you all know by now. So be on the lookout. Keep your energy in check. Keep your vibrations high, and do not get swept into it. So the news will probably start talking about this Brett Hankinson. Oh my God, he was found not guilty of wanton endangerment. The country is racist. White people are evil. We got to end white racism and supremacy. Take money, defund the police. The government is evil. Blah, blah, blah. It's just being staged to keep your vibrations low. But we're smarter than that. They already played us before, but we're not going to allow that to happen. Also, you know 45 is about to come back. He launched Truth Social on 2/22, February 22nd, 2022. You have these benevolent factions of Russia taking back the Ukraine, China taking back Taiwan. You have Poppy Trump on Twitter saying that Poppy Trump on Twitter saying that, I'm sorry, getting a call, that this is a silver alert, and that's all he said was silver alert. So what I'm saying to you is, a lot of people who actually are silver precious metal dealers, like your Andy Sheckman from Miles Franklin and some of your other silver dealers, are saying it's getting harder and harder for them to find silver to distribute it to we the people, because major banks are buying up the silver and gold, millionaires are buying it up, CEOs, and we the people, we're getting into silver and gold. So be on the alert. They don't want you to know that we're turning over to the silver standard, the gold standard, the precious metal standard, and things are changing for we the people. So things are getting better. It might look bad, but you know, if you're a woman and you ever reach the 9th month of pregnancy, Remember those last few weeks right before you deliver? It's so long. It's so painful. It takes forever. And you're like, will this baby ever get out of me? I just want to push it out right now, right before your delivery date. You just get exhausted. And that's where we are now. We are having labor pains, and we're about to push out our deliverance. So stay encouraged. You heard it from me. It's happening. So if you can get your hands on some silver and gold. Gold costs so much money right now, almost $2,000 an ounce. Silver is only about $25 an ounce. And we saw the price of gold and silver increasing. Gold had increased, how much was it? Like, I can't even remember. It was a lot. It was like almost $100. It was reaching $2,000, and silver had only increased by 78 cents. But then they slammed the prices down because they don't want you to know what's really happening, and they slam the prices down so they and their friends can buy it up. But you use this as an opportunity to buy it up as much as you can. But if it's not in your budget and you're not able to afford it right now, don't worry. NESARA will release funds and to everybody all over the planet. And not only will we have NESARA, but we will have a debt jubilee. A debt jubilee is when everybody's debts will be completely wiped out, individual debts and the country debts. And here's another thing: they have to revalue the gold or assess it to its proper value in order to pay off debts. So it's happening. Our liberation is nigh. Be encouraged. Maintain your positivity. Do not get swept up into mainstream media. If they start talking about Antifa and Black Lives Matter and, racism, white supremacy, let it go over your head. Let it roll off your shoulder, because we are one. We're all in this together. Where we go one, we go all. We're all one united family. We're not going to allow them to divide us any longer. We're strong. We're stronger in numbers. The more we band together, the more power we have. So jump on my timeline. My timeline is full of joy. It's full of peace. It's full of happiness. And even though we have some hard times, because I've had, transitions in my family, or what people call death in my family, but I've had to do whatever I can to raise my vibrations. I know we are tired. We are exhausted. But do all you can to keep your vibrations high, because some people contracted to leave during this time. Some people decided when they came incarnated into the flesh how they would want to leave, or around what time. So I'm not in agreement with it, because I want to be selfish and keep them here. But I'm just saying, this is what it is, and I know it's hard for us. It is a very trying time, but we're right on the brink of our deliverance. Stay encouraged, family. We're one family. We have to know this. The last thing I want to say is, I know a lot of people are dying, but we're transitioning to the new earth, which is going to be a high vibrational earth, or high vibrational frequencies flooding the planet, which will allow us to experience joy and planetary peace. So we have our extraterrestrial brothers and sisters who are here helping us to ascend. And when that happens, we will live forever. We can live forever. I keep hearing people say, we all have to die. Everybody have to die, especially when I was at the homegoing service for my children's father, for whom I was a caretaker. But what I'm telling you is that is not the way the Creator intended. You don't have to die. We have been dying, but with the new energies flooding the planet, we will, with our guardian angels, go through a light chamber, and our bodies will change in a moment of the twinkling of an eye, and our bodies will change to crystalline bodies. So even before that, you have med beds, which is a precursor to everlasting life, which when you go through the med beds, and they're already being released for people who are very, very sick, and the children that have been freed from the underground tunnels. So you go to the med beds, and it detects all the ailments in your body and heals them on spot. So that's exciting news. And before I knew all of this, I had started doing research on living forever. And what I discovered is there are actually people who live hundreds of years, and documented cases of people living thousands of years. But a lot of us don't know about it because we prepare our minds and our hearts to die. Even in our language, we'll say things like, I have more years behind me than I do ahead of me. Or we'll say, oh, I'm getting old, or this is my old age, or, we all have to die. But when you say things like that, you start making that your reality. So when you start feeling ache and pains, you'll say, oh, well, I'm dying, I'm getting old. We all got to die from something. and you'll pick up bad habits, or you will keep up with your bad habits like smoking and drinking and eating foods that are unhealthy, or doing all kinds of things. You'll say things like, well, I gotta die from something. But if you say, I'm going to live forever, it changes your life. When you feel an ache and a pain, you'll say, oh, I'm going to live forever, so let me start stretching and doing my yoga so I can get these kinks out of my body. That's so different from saying, oh, I'm getting old, so let me go to the hospital and get some medicine. You see? When you say I'm going to live forever, you'll start eating more healthily. You'll start reminding yourself that you have to do the work and stop eating as much salt and sugar and all those things. You have to do the work to stay in good health. You're going to live forever. I'm going to live forever. And that's what I remind myself of. That's what I tell my children. And, if for some reason the Creator decides I'm going to not live forever, then I'm going to live a long time, because I've told myself that and I've created that reality. So jump on my timeline. Some of us are already living in 4 and 5D and higher because we create that. We only surround ourselves with positivity, happiness, and joy, positive thoughts. We turn off mainstream media. We listen to positive music and positive videos, and we create a wonderful, peaceful, joyful reality. So don't get swept into the racism, white supremacy thing. It's just something that was on a 3D timeline to keep people divided, but it doesn't exist here unless you welcome it in. So instead, welcome in joy. We used to sing this song when I was in church. We welcome you in. I'm not a singer. We welcome you in. I can't remember the words. Something about you're invited and you're amazing and we welcome you in. You were welcoming in the Creator. Well, welcome in joy, welcome in love, welcome in peace, welcome in unity, welcome in family, positive vibrations into your life. Okay? It's happening, family. Know that. When you know it, you'll live it, you'll speak it, you'll think it, and you'll pass it on. My name is Dr. Kia Pruitt, and my purpose is to bring you joy. I hope I've done just that. Peace, family. I love you. Bye.